Today we'll be covering 5 of my favorite GMT watches that I've reviewed comprehensively on this channel. Now only one of these 5 is a quartz movement and only one of them gets mineral crystal. In fact, it's just one watch that gets both the quartz movement and the mineral crystal. The rest all get automatic movements as well as sapphire crystals. And all of these watches are completely and utterly stainless steel. Now the prices for these 5 start at $40 and go all the way to $140. But there's just one that's over the $100 and that's a San Martin. All the other ones are way less than $100. So once again we're looking at this budget category, and I did include the San Martin simply because the refinement is staggering even for the relatively non-budget price of $140. And so without further ado, let's dive in and talk about these 5 watches in detail. The links to all of the 5 will be in the description below the video, so do check them out if you're after some sharp prices. And now let's dive in. We'll go to a quartz GMT watch for $40, and it is the Addiesdive AD2036. I could play the pretentious game and call out the fact that it is powered by a Swiss movement, yet it's just the Ronda 515 and there's nothing too flash about it. Still, the heritage is solid enough. The stainless steel piece has been sold tens of thousands of times in the last 2 years. It has been presented on AliExpress, but the value we receive is undeniable even today. In regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 40mm, a lug-to-lug length of 47.2, a height of 12.3, and a lug width of 20mm, tapering down to 16 at the clasp. It sits very snugly on my 6.5-inch wrist. The inspiration of the watch is clear as day with the distinctive hand tips, wide-set lugs, ensuring assertive setup of the watch. The 24-hour steel bezel is brushed while the outer edge is polished. Most of the case is brushed actually, but the bevel between the flanks and the lug hoods is also polished, adding light play and reflections. This GMT is a sport watch after all, so 200 meters of water resistance are warranted by a signed screw-in crown and a screw-down case back. The only relative shortcut on the piece is a mineral boxed crystal, yet it's offset by a luxurious stainless steel bracelet with decent tolerances and good link fluidity. The clasp is signed, gets 5 micro adjustments and a milled wing. For $40, quite remarkable value here. And we're going to talk about the Tandorio automatic GMT watch for $65. Powered by the self-winding Seiko NH34, this piece brings so much value in terms of components, I truly don't know where to begin. But let's kick it off. So firstly, it is a fully stainless steel construction. The case and bracelet are fully brushed. We get a slab of sapphire crystal sitting above this GS-inspired Omiwitari dial. Omiwitari is a winter phenomenon observed on Japan's Lake Suwa. As the lake surface freezes, the fluctuations in temperatures cause the ice to expand and contract, forming these long ridges named Omiwitari, also known as God's footsteps. We get a screw-in crown and a screw-down case back. The result of that is 200 meters of water resistance. To top it all off, there's a date window that goes hand in hand with the notion of a timepiece for the global traveler. With regards to the dimensions, not bad. So we get a diameter of 39mm, a lug-to-lug length of 53, a height of 12, a lug width of 20mm, tapering down to 18 at the clasp. And this is a hefty watch. The weight is 170 grams before removing any links to fit my 6.5-inch wrist. For the components and the feature set that we get here, quite unbelievable value for $65. We've got a Leftie self-winding automatic GMT watch. And once again, at $50, this is a bargain price. The rotating unidirectional ceramic bezel is bicolored. The look gives away the inspiration with ease, I presume, I hope. I actually wanted a Leftie watch for quite some time, but I couldn't quite find what I was looking for in the right budget. Usually they're way over $100 on AliExpress, but $50 we're getting on an automatic. Fine, it's not the NH34, this is the Chinese Pearl movement. We are getting sapphire crystal, 120 click unidirectional bezel, stainless steel construction. Well, I'll tell you all about it, but $50 and most importantly a GMT watch, this is very impressive. we get a signed screw and crown and an exhibition case back. The signed and decorated rotor allows for a glimpse to the cogs, gears and the balance wheel of the Pearl automatic movement. The piano black dial is protected via sapphire crystal and a sapphire cyclops above the date window at 3 o'clock. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 40.5 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 49.8 millimeters, a height of 12.3 or 13.6 millimeters with the cyclops. The lug width here is 20 millimeters and a weight of 150 grams. The brushed and polished surfaces provide for enticing light play across the case. Then the Jubilee style bracelet adds to the luxurious aspirations of the watch. The tolerances are not superior, yet the fluidity and link articulation will ensure a comfortable fit as the bracelet links drape your wrist. The folding clasp is milled and signed, and of course, the elephant in the room is the GMT functionality, an absolute must for the dual time zone coverage. All this for $50. I often ask myself if it's worth overpaying for premium AliExpress brands. Why get the San Martin if I have access for less money to a Corgeut, for example? Let's start off with the dimensions. So the Corgeut first and then the San Martin. So on the Corgeut we get a diameter of 39.5 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 53 millimeters, a height of 13.2 without the cyclops, 14.5 with the cyclops. The lug width is 20 millimeters, but the bracelet tapers down to 16 at the clasp, and we have a weight of 160 grams without removing any links to fit my 6.5 inch wrist. With the San Martin, we get a diameter of 39.8 millimeters, slightly more than the Corgeut. The lug-to-lug length, though, is 47.6 millimeters, so way less. A height of 12.8 and a lug width of 20 millimeters, also tapering down to 16 at the clasp, and a weight of 145 grams. Firstly, I was surprised to find the smaller diameter on the Corgeut. 39.5 millimeters is very nimble indeed. Yet, the male end links aren't doing favors for Corgeut. The height without the cyclops is also taller than on the San Martin. The wide and square shape is clear on both, yet the edges are more crisp on the San Martin. Corgeut corners look softer and more smudged. A prime example of this are the 45-degree polished bevels, acting as the transitions from flank to lug hoods on the San Martin, versus the softer and simply rounded edges on the Corgeut. San Martin gets a signed screw and crown, while Corgeut doesn't. In terms of the brush surfaces, Corgeut surprised me with the fine strokes, very similar to San Martin's. The fluted case backs are similar too. Overall though, it's clear San Martin does a finer job in terms of refinement and definition and the attention to details, just making the case stand out a bit more and look more refined. Both watches have a 3-link design, tapering down from 20 to 16 millimeters at the clasp. Both are brushed, there are no harsh corners nor edges on either, yet the smoothness of the San Martin outer-facing links are just superior to Corgeut. Visually almost identical, yet the tactile response is so much smoother, almost velvety on the San Martin. But Corgeut counters by its screw pins versus push pins used by San Martin. In terms of tolerances, San Martins are a notch or two higher. Fluidity is on par though. Both feature folding clasps, these are signed, but San Martin offers 4 micro adjustments over 3 on the Corgeut. Both timepieces offer milled wings. Corgeut uses male end links, and that stretches the lug-to-lug length to 53 millimeters, and that is a bit too much, while San Martin has inverted end links, keeping the lug-to-lug length to a very modest 47.6 millimeters. Corgeut offers a rather straight-cut solution with a flat slab of sapphire crystal as well as a sapphire cyclops over the date window. No anti-reflective coating though. San Martin, on the other hand, offers a modestly boxy sapphire crystal with anti-reflective treatment. The looks and the complexity goes to San Martin once again. So I guess now you can see why these 5 are my favorite 5 GMT watches from the channel. Simply because they are great, especially for the prices that we pay for them. For example, the Addiesdive Quartz. Wowzer, it looks absolutely amazing, and you can pick it up for $40, and if it's on sale for as low as $30, $35. So very good. But yeah, it's a quartz. It's okay. It's mineral crystal. It's fine. For that much money and for the looks you get, absolutely amazing. And the functionality. The San Martin, the other side of the price spectrum on this video. $140. Is it worth it? Definitely. The Corgeut, half that price. Is it good? It's great. They've got exactly the same movement sitting in there, the NH34. And that goes for the other two GMT watches as well. So anyway, hopefully you did enjoy this video. The links to the listings will be in the description below the video, so do check them out if you're after some sharp prices. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.